in Africa, Boko Haram, area of Nigeria, you have found four Pakistani terrorists of same, Markach, that is your Lashkar-e-Toyba. They have been caught. They have been also caught somewhere in Bangladesh. They are trying to do it. So they are spreading their wing. If it is getting global, all over the globe, when we see, there is a, direct, people are trying to do it, whether it's America or Israel, the 3H, Hezbollah, Houthi, Hamas, where they want to corner them and they want to squeeze them. But at the same time, you find the Pakistan is spreading its wing all over the globe, and footprint we can see. So this is a great, when you are bringing this issue from your platform is seen everywhere. The voice is very, very strong from us that the thin line which they used to maintain it, they are trying to, blur it now. They have gone absolutely basak, and whether it is the effect of Sindoor or it is other way around. Because Asim Munir is also, trying to, because his portrait, his photographs are all coming in these Tanzim, meetings which is taking place all over in Pakistan.
Absolutely. And sir, as you also mentioned, on one hand, such statements are being made. On another, there's no condemnation that has come from Pakistan. And in lack of that, what message do you think Pakistan is trying to send globally?
Pakistan is sending a message that, these are their strategic assets. Because what they say, their one narrative is that this has been created by, even they take the name and they don't hesitate taking the name of the United States of America, because 30,000 of these terrorists, and that is a good terrorist and bad terrorist. So they are saying that, these people have been created by, the Western power. And now the time is over. They are now affected because if you know what is happening in Pakistan, the balkanization which is taking place in Pakistan with TTP, especially Tariq-e-Taliban, Pakistan, they even say the BLA has been made by some vested interest. So what they are giving a message that the blur, there was a thin line between good and bad terrorists is now he wants to obliterate. This is the message they are trying to give it, and that's why the footprint is spreading all over the globe.
That's right. Thank you, sir, for speaking to Republic TV. Now shifting our focus, but in fact keeping our focus on Pakistan, in a major embarrassment for Pakistan, their jail in Karachi turned into a battlefield. Inmates turned rogue after they were brought out from their jail cells following an earthquake. What unfolded after that has shocked everyone across the nation. In fact, prisoners snatched guns from the prison staff, which led to a shootout and then flung open the main gates. Hundreds of inmates escaped, leaving police, in fact, red-faced there. Dramatic visuals straight out of a movie that everyone witnessed. Watch this. This is all we could pack in this bulletin of 6 at 6 for you. We'll be right back tomorrow, same time with more stories. Thank you for watching Republic TV.
FBI छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?
Honestly, I love my new fans. पुराने वाले बेकार में शोर करते
सर फैंस हैं, शोर तो करेंगे ही ना।
नए वाले नहीं करते and they listen to what I say.
The new generation Orient BLDC fans. Super silent performance with voice control.
Silly me आए तो और
Cricket fans.
मेरी नई हुंडई एक्स्टर। अरे तुमने भी तो कल नई कार ली है ना? उसमें भी तो होगा ना ये वॉइस इनेबल सनरूफ?
है ना अंकल? फिंगर इनेबल सनरूफ।
पैडल शिफ्टर्स वो तो होंगे ही।
जस्ट पेडल्स।
डील्स और बेनिफिट्स ये तो मिले होंगे ना?
ये मिला।
हाँ? इन्होंने तो लॉलीपॉप ले लिया। क्या आप भी लेना चाहोगे? बिल्कुल नहीं। तो जल्दी चले आओ हुंडई शोरूम। आपकी फेवरेट हुंडई कार्स पर मिल रही है अमेजिंग डील्स। वैसे लोगे तो आप हुंडई ही, चाहे दिल की सुनो या डील्स की।
My name is Ambassador Deepak Vora, and I have been involved marginally in the review activities for the Indus Water Treaty sometime in the 1990s. I don't remember the year. But at that time, the feeling seemed to be from the Pakistani side that they could get away with whatever they wanted. It's important to remember that the creation of Pakistan was in 1947. The Indus Water Treaty was signed in 1960. 13 years later, because some fellow in Pakistan realized that the headworks of the irrigation system of the canals built in British Indian Punjab were in Madhapur and Ferozpur, both in India. So India gave them some money, I think 6.5 crore pounds sterling, in order to build their own systems, etc. But they used the money to build Tarbela and the other dam, which is Mangala Dam, which is on the Indus, and the other one is on the Jhelum. Now, so they've not been honest right from the beginning. And whenever we wanted to do something as far as the Indus River is concerned, they would always say that, look, this treaty has survived so many conflicts between India and Pakistan, nothing is going to happen. However, they did not know that this time they were dealing with a person called Narendra Bhai Damodar Das Modi, and we'd had enough, especially after the Pahalgam attack, that the feeling was that, oh, India will make some noise, India will lodge one protest here, there, everywhere, go to the United Nations, cry on America's shoulder, and then things would be back to normal. But this is not the India that they were used to. Now, what is the impact of this? First of all, as far as international matters are concerned, international conventions are concerned, the Indus Waters Treaty, which was signed with facilitation by the World Bank in 1960, it can be nullified at any time if the circumstances during which it was signed have changed materially, either in terms of demography, in terms of the climate, in terms of utilization of the water, etc., etc. So India is perfectly within its rights, and Pakistan knows this, to nullify the treaty, which is why they haven't rushed to the International Court of Justice, even though that has no jurisdiction in the matter. They've kept quiet and they're trying to settle it bilaterally, which is what India had been saying right from the beginning. But as we say with Pakistan, give them a tight slap on their face, then they will understand what's happening. So the first issue is that we are well within our rights to nullify the treaty. We've kept it in abeyance. It's a wonderful term that we use. Basically, it means, look, brother, go climb the nearest peepal tree. You are not going to get any more water from the Sindhu River and its 5 daughters. What happens then? It's going to take, I believe, because I'm special advisor in Kargil and in Leh, spoken to many experts there, and what they have said is that it's going to take anything around 24 months for India to completely, and I say this very slowly so that you can understand, to completely stop the flow of Indus and Indus systems waters into Pakistan. If that happens, 80% of that country's agriculture, which is dependent on the Sindhu River, will collapse. As it is,
Summer is here. Is your home ready for the heat? Keep your roof cool and your home comfortable all summer with Roof Cool and Seal. पसीना मत बहाओ, बर्जर रूफ कूल एंड सील लगाओ।
Hi there, welcome to the 6:30 p.m. edition of Live and Breaking Tuesday. And a big reveal coming in from a former Ministry of Defence advisor who gives a lowdown on how India made Pakistan cry uncle with targeted precision strikes that did not intend to hit nuclear sites but came very close, making Pakistan realize escalation is not worth it. That's our focus. Let's begin with the headlines.
International level, are you going to say that you targeted? Obviously you didn't target. It got hit and it put a lot of fear and apprehension in the mind of the people there.
It's the biggest confirmation on Republic military advisor to Defence Ministry during Operation Sindoor confirms Pakistan's nuclear command center was hit.
You hit them so hard that they've got to reach out to you, so you've done your delivery of your arsenal very well. So I think that by itself, what did you hit? How quickly did you hit them? How hard you hit them?
Lieutenant General Kandari confirms Pakistan's nuclear facility getting hit was the biggest turning point. Fear gripped Pakistan. Pakistan admits large-scale damage. Internal dossier reveals more targets hit by India than revealed.
Officially, we know in 1965, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto declared a 1,000-year war against India. Then he addressed the United Nations Security Council. And similar kind of venom was spewed by General Asim Munir against India and Hindus. Speak just 2 days or weeks before what happened in Pahalgam.
CDS Anil Chauhan speaking on future wars hits out at Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir says that venom was spewed by Munir against India just 2 days ahead of the Pahalgam terror attack. Kannada High Court wraps Kamal asks why no apology, says public figure cannot hurt public sentiments. Meanwhile, Haasan's thug life will not be released in the state. Telangana Congress chief sympathizes with Maoists, questions why no talks with Maoists. All right, starting with the breaking news development coming in, Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Singh Mann has stirred a controversy by mocking the centre's recent military action, Operation Sindoor, against Pakistan, with a sarcastic comment implying it was symbolic rather than substantive. Referring to it as the one nation, one husband scheme, Mann made a shameful comment, or that shameful comment, saying that if the government sends Sindoor to everyone's home, will one use that? Punjab Chief Minister high on something, mocking Operation Sindoor. Let's listen to him.
ਐ ਯਾਰ ਸੰਦੂਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਵੋਟਾਂ ਮੰਗਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੰਦੂਰ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਜ਼ਾਕ ਉੱਡਿਆ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੰਦੂਰ ਵੀ ਭੇਜਾਂਗੇ ਹਰ ਘਰ 'ਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਘਰੇ ਆਊਗਾ ਫਿਰ ਤੂੰ ਲਾ ਲੇਗਾ ਫਿਰ ਕਹਿ ਦੇਗਾ ਵੀ ਆ ਲੈ ਮੋਦੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸੰਦੂਰ ਲਾ ਲਾ ਇੱਕ ਵਨ ਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਵਨ ਹਸਬੈਂਡ ਇਹ ਸਕੀਮ ਹੈ
Bhagwant Mann, perhaps in a mood of throwback to his earlier profession. Very bad, very sad. Moving on. All-party delegation led by DMK MP Kanimuri has returned back. And all MPs who were part of the delegation stated that whenever there is a terror act in the country, the nation will unite, cutting across the political divide. The delegation tour was successful. They said, as a strong message has been given on cross-border terrorism, that India will not suffer and stay quiet. All countries have supported us and our messaging has been a strong was the sentiment shared by these members of the delegation that has returned. Let's listen to some of them.
पड़ोसियों से अच्छे संबंध हो, लेकिन जब देश पर आँच आए तो मजबूती से खड़ा होना चाहिए। सेना के साथ, सरकार के साथ नेताजी खड़े रहे, उसी मजबूती के साथ हमने अपनी बात वहाँ रखा। हमें खुशी इस बात की जहाँ जहाँ गए सारे देशों ने कहा कि आतंकवाद की लड़ाई में हम भारत के साथ हैं। जाहिर है कोई देश आतंकवाद के साथ नहीं रहना चाहता। हमने उनको समझाया, व्यक्तिगत रूप से मैंने भी उनको भुट्टो से लेकर इमरान खान तक कहानी सुनाई कि वहाँ के जो सरकार है, कठपुतली सरकार है, और सेना आतंकवाद को धूप की तरह चलाती है। जब जब भी आप हमें सलाह देते हो कि हम बात करें, किससे बात करें? उन्हीं लोगों से बात करें जो आतंकवाद की फैक्ट्री चलाते हैं। तो जब तक आतंकवादियों के कैंप को डिसमेंटल नहीं करेंगे तब तक कोई बात नहीं होगी। सारे देशों ने भरोसा दिलाया साथ रहने के लिए। अब आगे की जिम्मेदारी सरकार की है।
तो आपको लगता है कि ये पहली बार ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के दौरान जो चीज देखने को मिली है कि सारा जो ऑल पार्टी डेलीगेशन है, सारा विपक्ष एकजुट हुआ है, बाहर गया है, टेररिज्म को लेकर जो नैरेटिव है, यूनिटी का जो मैसेज है वो देने में
आपको या आपके चैनल को क्यों पहली बार लग रहा है? कोई ऐसे देश के ऊपर घटना बताइए जब देश के ऊपर लड़ाई छिड़ी हो, जंग छिड़ा हो, देश एक साथ नहीं रहा। 1962 में अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी पहले बार के सांसद थे। चीन के साथ भयंकर युद्ध चल रहा था, उन्होंने सेशन बुलाने की मांग की और सेशन बुलाया गया था। हर सवाल पक्ष विपक्ष बाद में देश है तब पक्ष विपक्ष है ना, राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि है। जब देश के ऊपर बात आएगी तो सारे 140 करोड़ लोग एक साथ हैं। आप भी हमारे इतना जिम्मेदार है जितना हम हैं।
एक आखिरी सवाल सर, जो वेस्ट लगातार एक नैरेटिव बेच रहा है वो पाकिस्तान की साइड वाला नैरेटिव, आपको लगता है कि इस पूरे डेलीगेशन मीट से वो नैरेटिव को हिंदुस्तान ने चकनाचूर किया है?
हमने एक्सपोज किया है। हमने उन्हें बताया, मैंने व्यक्तिगत रूप से भी उन्हें बताया। जब हमसे कहा गया कि हम आपके साथ हैं लेकिन दोनों देशों को बैठकर आपस में बात करना चाहते हैं, बात किससे करें? बात किससे करें? आप हिंदुस्तान में बात करना चाहते हैं तो वहाँ एक सरकार है, डेमोक्रेटिक है, एक साथ दोनों देश आज़ाद हुए, एक दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा लोकतांत्रिक देश बना, दूसरा दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा आतंकी देश बना। तो जो वहाँ की सेना आतंकवाद को पल पा रही है, आतंकवाद को पोषित कर रही है, आतंकवाद को बढ़ा रही है, आतंकवादियों की फैक्ट्री चला रही है, उससे कैसे बात करें? पहले वो डिसमेंटल करें फिर हम बात करेंगे।
The message has been very clear. I mean, this visit has been about taking India's message, taking our Prime Minister's message, taking the strong resolve of 140 crore Indians to the world, saying that terror will face consequences, and it's also about telling the world that it is a state policy of Pakistan which is sponsoring terrorism, and India has been a victim of this terror for decades now. We also told the world that we have not just been victims, we have been warriors against terrorism, and we are seeking a global alliance, a global cooperation in this battle against terrorism. And as it was, this visit was as much as about seeking support and solidarity, it was also about showing India's strength and India's position today.
5 देशों के दौरे में हमारी मुलाकात वहाँ के बुद्धिजीवी लोगों से, ब्यूरोक्रेट से, पॉलिटिशियन से, पार्लियामेंटेरियन से और सरकारी अधिकारियों से, सबसे मीटिंग हुई। बहुत अच्छी मीटिंग रही, सब ने अप्रिशिएट किया, और जो पहलगांव में हुआ उसकी सब ने भर्त्सना की। और जहाँ तक सवाल है क्रॉस बॉर्डर टेररिज्म का, वो तो यूरोप भी सफ़र कर रहा है, पूरी दुनिया सफ़र कर रही है, उसमें वो लोग हमारे साथ हैं। उन्होंने कहा कि भाई ये जो टेररिज्म जो प्रॉब्लम है इसमें हम आपके साथ हैं।
Following the announcement by Union Home Minister Amit Shah on May 30th, the Government of India has extended the bunker coverage scheme along the Indo-Pakistan border in Jammu and Kashmir from 3 km to 5 kilometers under the aftermath of Operation Sindoor. In Samba district's Ramgarh sector, construction of 3,000 new bunkers has begun on a war footing, aiming to enhance civilian safety and preparedness in this sensitive border region. Perhaps also an indication that Operation Sindoor might have a corollary. My colleague Corroborative brings you more.
Union Home Minister Amit Shah has announced that additional bunkers will be made in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir after Pakistan targeted the civilian areas in retaliation to the India's strike on Pakistani terror camps. And right now, the construction in the Samba district of these bunkers has now been taken to a next level. This is a war footing construction that is being done here at the Indo-Pakistan international border, which is hardly a few meters away from this very place. And this place that we have are showing you from the Indo-Pakistan international border is the Ramgarh sector that has been prone to the Pakistani shelling, but Pakistan has been given a befitting reply since Pakistan targets the civilians. Now the construction of these bunkers, these are the community bunkers that are being made, so does the individual bunkers. The government has announced that there will be additional bunkers that will be made, and the recommendation has been sent to the union government. But this is proving to be a really relief for the locals, those who live here, because the Indo-Pakistan border is hardly a few meters away. I'll request Gaurav to show you those ridge of the trees that you see that there. That is the place from where the territory of the Pakistan starts, and now this comes as a big relief for the people who lives in the border areas, because there have been additional individual bunkers that have also been recommendations being sent to the union government by the J&K administration. Will try to speak. Sir, आपका नाम?
सुखदेव सिंह।
सुखदेव जी, मुझे ये बताइए कितना फ़ायदा होगा आपको इन बंकर से जो बन रहे हैं?
हमारे को तो बहुत फ़ायदा है, इस गांव वालों को भी बहुत फ़ायदा है, क्योंकि बंकर हो गए तो आ जाएंगे सभी बीच में। जब नहीं थे तब पीछे भागना पड़ता था।
अभी कुछ दिन पहले आपने देखा बहुत भीषण फायरिंग हुई थी। अब क्योंकि बंकर बन जाएंगे तो आपको क्या लगता है?
बहुत अच्छा लगेगा, क्योंकि हमारे जो लोग हैं, पहले ये था फायरिंग होता था पीछे भाग जाते थे, अभी ये होगा जो भी हमारे घर हैं तो 10, 15, 20 वो आ जाएंगे इसमें, तो हमारे को बहुत फ़ायदा होगा।
So the civilians can come to this very place and their lives will be saved. We'll try to speak to some more people. आपका नाम?
जगदीप सिंह।
जगदीप, मुझे ये बताइए, आपने जो है पिछले कुछ दिन पहले भी फायरिंग यहाँ पर देखी है, अब ये बंकर जो बन रहे हैं इसमें फ़ायदा कितना ज़्यादा?
बहुत फ़ायदा है सर, यहाँ पे हमें भागना नहीं पड़ता पीछे। अब पीछे फायरिंग हुई थी, हम इस बंकर के अंदर ही थे, 2-3 दिन यहीं पे रहे।
अब और बंकर्स भी जो बन रहे हैं आपके एरिया में, स्पीड ज़्यादा तेज़ की है?
तेज़ की है सर, अभी फटाफट काम हो रहा है, बहुत ज़्यादा तेज़ी से काम कर रहे हैं।
तो ये बड़े बंकर्स हैं?
जी, कमेटी बंकर है सर ये।
कितने लोग इसमें आ जाते हैं?
40 के करीब आ जाएंगे सर।
40 के करीब आ जाते हैं?
जी जी जी।
तो अगर मतलब मैं देख रहा था काफ़ी जो है चौड़ाई रखी गई है।
जी जी, इसका सर फ़ायदा हमें ये शेलिंग टैंक के गोले का फायर होता है यहाँ पे, मोटरार गिरते हैं, इस लैंटर से बहुत अच्छा होगा ये, हमें फ़ायदा है इसका सर।
So it has been made in such a manner that if there is a heavy artillery fire or even the Pakistan resorts to their nefarious plots, that all can be foiled well within the time. And these bunkers, they are being constructed on a war footing. Reason being that the Union government has made it amply clear that they will be going forward beyond the 9,500 bunkers that have been approved for the Jammu and Kashmir. And now the construction of the bunkers that was pending, that has also been speeded up. And what we are getting to know that some more recommendations have also been sent to the Union government for construction of the individual and the community bunkers in all 5 border districts of the Jammu region, that is Jammu, Kathua, Samba, Rajouri and the Poonch.
All right, slipping into a short break. Coming up on the other side is the biggest confirmation on Republic. A military advisor to Defence Ministry during Operation Sindoor confirms Pakistan's nuclear command center was hit.
India hit much deeper than known till now. Pakistan dossier reveals undisclosed Indian airstrikes. What India didn't say, Pakistan just admitted. Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?
Honestly, I love my new fans. पुराने वाले बेकार में शोर करते
सर फैंस हैं, शोर तो करेंगे ही ना।
नए वाले नहीं करते and they listen to what I say.
The new generation Orient BLDC fans. Super silent performance with voice control.
सिली में आए तो
Cricket fans.
आपकी फेवरेट हुंडई कार्स पर मिल रही है अमेजिंग डील्स। वैसे लोगे तो आप हुंडई ही, चाहे दिल की सुनो या डील्स की, तो जल्दी चले आओ हुंडई शोरूम।
Hi, this is Chef Ranveer Brar. Guarantee you brilliance on behalf of IAHM.
विमल में गुलिस्तां के ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ घुलें
तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की जुबान में खुद को ऐसे डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं? विमल, बोलो जुबान कैसी?
5 साल नैनी सेंटर में है तो फिर जीवन कारा होगा। फिर नॉर्थ हाई कोर्ट बेल की है, फिर छोड़ गए। अब कहा है बैठे अब पहले हुए कमाई ले कुछ खाए का, आपको कमाई लायक नहीं है, बहुत गुजार दिया, सब प्रतिनिधि खत्म हो गया। 21 साल।
अब बिल्कुल मैं सबसे पहले तस्वीरें आपको लखन की ही दिखाता हूँ। लखन बैठे हुए हैं, ये घर के ठीक बाहर खटिया पे बैठे हुए हैं और जो कुछ इनके ऊपर गुजरा है, जो कुछ घटनाक्रम इनके संग घटा है, पढ़कर मालूम चलता है कि व्यवस्था जब फेल होती है तो व्यक्ति किस तरीके से हताश हो जाता है। लखन जी, कितने साल रहे जेल में?
साहब 5 साल नैनी सेंटर में है तो फिर जीवन कारा होगा। फिर नॉर्थ हाई कोर्ट बेल की है, फिर छोड़ गए। फिर लड़ते रहे साहब।
उम्र कितनी हो गई?
उम्र साहब 3 साल।
हाँ, 103 साल।
हाँ साहब।
क्या हुआ था? कौन सा घटनाक्रम, किससे झगड़ा हो गया था जब आपको गिरफ्तारी?
साहब हमरे यह रहा है, हमारे चाची को मारे रहे, चंदा, प्रभु, नोखई, ये 4 मारे रहे हैं चाची के, देसराज की महतारी के। तो फिर कलेसर देसराज मलेसर कल्लू, तो फिर अपन नहीं किए, अब तो नहीं किए आए, फिर अपन जो है अपन झगड़ा मचा दिए।
जेल में कुल कितना साल काट दिए जीवन का? कितना, कौन सी उम्र में जेल गए थे?
अरे साहब तो बहुत उतारी उम्र हो गए। अगर साहब न मांगते तो रोगा जी को स्वामी का, तो हम कहा जाए कि कई साल का है, अपना उधार ले आओ, तो उधार ले आओ तो देखें का और नैनी सटर हुआ हिया को स्वामी भेज और देवबंदी मार के
बेल मिल गई। इतना साल जीवन का जेल में गुजार दिए, अब पीछे देखते हो किससे शिकायत है?
हाँ कितनी शिकायत है?
किससे शिकायत है?
हाँ अब उन्हें से जब हम सो रही नहीं तो कहीं लाठी चल गए तो हमारे बेटो भैरा जगाई तो उठ के साहब देखा दुआरे केमार खोल के तो सब खून खून खर्चा रहा, केमार बंद के भीतर घुस गए कि हम लोग ने फंसा दिए। पेपर घुस कर नहीं निकला, फिर साहब पर मारी, फिर 4 रोज बाद लगे दवाई करा, फिर अस्पताल मर गया।
ये जितने लोगों से झगड़ा हुआ था उनमें से कोई बचा है कि सबका देहांत हो गया?
और साहब जो झगड़ा हुआ है नोखई बचा है, बस उन्हें भाई रहा, चंदा मार गया, राजा मार गया, प्रभु मार गया और नोखई भी बचा है।
तो कुल 43 साल पहले घटना है, 50 साल कितने साल होगा?
हाँ हीरा हवे करे साहब, 43 साल तो हवे करे, 48 साल लड़ा।
All right, starting with a breaking news development coming in. Gaurav Kundi, a 42-year-old Indian origin man, is on life support at the Royal Adelaide Hospital after allegedly sustaining severe brain and neck injuries during a violent police arrest in Adelaide's eastern suburbs in Australia. His wife, Amritpal Kaur, claims that officers used excessive force after misinterpreting a loud argument between the couple on Payneham Road as a case of domestic violence. She stated that Kundi had not assaulted her and was only being loud, emphasizing that the police response was unwarranted. Let's listen into the wife and then we have more details.
I can't make too much video. I just 19 seconds video because I got panic and just I sit on the ground with Gaurav. Please leave him. Please leave him.
All right, for more on this, Akanksha joins us live from the newsroom. Akanksha, what's the latest that you can share about this unfortunate tragedy panning out with an Indian couple in Australia?
Well, absolutely. This is a very tragic news that is coming in from Australia. This is a clear case of police brutality. What we're learning is that this man is battling for his life in ICU. He's in coma there. The family is in panic. What the wife has said is that they were having a verbal spat. He did not assault her. They were having a public verbal spat. The police stepped in and then brutalized him. No amount of justification is enough or something that the police can give as far as this case is concerned. Now, the family is seeking for legal relief. They are saying that this is unwarranted. The action by the police was unwarranted, as it was the verbal spat, the public spat was between the wife and the husband. Now the husband is in fact is in ICU. He's battling for his life. He has sustained injuries in his brain and neck, as you also mentioned. But as far as the family is concerned, they are seeking legal help. They are seeking justice for this man.
All right. Thank you, Akanksha, with those details. Coming back home and to India's northeast, where rain fury is playing havoc with normal life. Now, the National Disaster Response Force has been deployed, the helicopters to north of Sikkim for relief and rescue operations. Here are the details.
The northeastern states bear the brunt of heavy rains, followed by flash floods and landslides. In the latest, the NDRF has deployed helicopters to North Sikkim for relief operations. One V5 helicopter has landed at the Pakyong Greenfield Airport, deploying teams from the NDRF. The NDRF units are equipped with the satellite phones and essential emergency equipment. The first sortie of the day, comprising 23 NDRF personnel equipped with essential supplies, successfully proceeded towards Chatham from Pakyong Greenfield Airport. The deployed NDRF teams will aid in evacuation, rescue and establishment of the temporary communication lines to assist the affected residents. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Modi also dialed Sikkim Chief Minister Prem Singh Tamang, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma and Manipur Governor Ajay Kumar Bhalla, and assured them all possible support from the centre.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला, क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?
Honestly, I love my new fans. पुराने वाले बेकार में शोर करते।
सर फैंस हैं, शोर तो करेंगे ही ना।
नए वाले नहीं करते। And they listen to what I say.
The new generation Orient BLDC fans. Super silent performance with voice control.
सिली में आए तो और
Cricket fans.
मेरी नई हुंडई एक्स्टर तुमने भी तो कल नई कार ली है ना, उसमें भी तो होगा ना ये वॉइस इनेबल सनरूफ
है ना अंकल, सिंगर इनेबल सनरूफ।
और बेनिफिट्स ये तो मिले होंगे ना?
ये मिला।
हाँ? हुंडई कार्स पर मिल रही है अमेजिंग डील्स। वैसे लोगे तो आप हुंडई ही, चाहे दिल की सुनो या डील्स की।
My name is Ambassador Deepak Vora, and I have been involved marginally in the review activities for the Indus Water Treaty sometime in the 1990s. I don't remember the year. But at that time, the feeling seemed to be from the Pakistani side that they could get away with whatever they wanted. It's important to remember that the creation of Pakistan was in 1947. The Indus Water Treaty was signed in 1960. 13 years later, because some fellow in Pakistan realized that the headworks of the irrigation system of the canals built in British Indian Punjab were in Madhapur and Ferozpur, both in India. So India gave them some money, I think 6.5 crore pounds sterling, in order to build their own systems, etc. But they used the money to build Tarbela and the other dam, which is Mangala Dam, which is on the Indus, and the other one is on the Jhelum. Now, so they've not been honest right from the beginning. And whenever we wanted to do something as far as the Indus River is concerned, they would always say that, look, this treaty has survived so many conflicts between India and Pakistan, nothing is going to happen. However, they did not know that this time they were dealing with a person called Narendra Bhai Damodar Das Modi, and we'd had enough, especially after the Pahalgam attack, that the feeling was that, oh, India will make some noise, India will lodge one protest here, there, everywhere, go to the United Nations, cry on America's shoulder, and then things would be back to normal. But this is not the India that they were used to. Now, what is the impact of this? First of all, as far as international matters are concerned, international conventions are concerned, the Indus Waters Treaty, which was signed with facilitation by the World Bank in 1960, it can be nullified at any time if the circumstances during which it was signed have changed materially, either in terms of demography, in terms of the climate, in terms of utilization of the water, etc., etc. So India is perfectly within its rights, and Pakistan knows this, to nullify the treaty, which is why they haven't rushed to the International Court of Justice, even though that has no jurisdiction in the matter. They've kept quiet and they're trying to settle it bilaterally, which is what India had been saying right from the beginning. But as we say with Pakistan, give them a tight slap on their face, then they will understand what's happening. So the first issue is that we are well within our rights to nullify the treaty. We've kept it in abeyance. It's a wonderful term that we use. Basically, it means, look, brother, go climb the nearest
India hit much deeper than known till now. Pakistan dossier reveals undisclosed Indian airstrikes. What India didn't say, Pakistan just admitted. Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
Amity University has one of India's largest merit scholarship programs for brilliant students. Over 9,000 students with 90% plus in their 12th boards are currently at Amity, benefiting from the culture of academic excellence and focus on research and innovation. To be with like-minded students who want to be successful, apply at amity.edu/scholarships.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला.
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?
Honestly, I love my new fans. पुराने वाले बेकार में शोर करते.
सर फैंस हैं, शोर तो करेंगे ही ना.
नए वाले नहीं करते. And they listen to what I say.
The new generation Orient BLDC fans. Super silent performance with voice control.
सिली में आए तो और
क्रिकेट फैंस.
मेरी नई हुंडे एक्स्ट्रा तुमने भी तो कल नई कार ली है ना, उसमें भी तो होगा ना ये वॉइस इनेबल सनरूफ.
है ना अंकल, सिंगर इनेबल सनरूफ.
और बेनिफिट्स ये तो मिले होंगे ना.
ये मिला.
हाँ, हुंडे कार्स पर मिल रही है अमेजिंग डील्स. वैसे लोगे तो आप हुंडे ही, चाहे दिल की सुनो या डील्स की.
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का.
MDH की देगी मिर्च.
विमल में गुलिस्तां की ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ घुले तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की इस जुबां में खुद को ऐसा डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं. विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं ना. विमल बोलो जुबां केसरी.
5 साल नैनी सेंटर में तो फिर जीवन कारा होगा. फिर हमें हाई कोर्ट बेल की है, फिर छोड़ रहे हैं. आप कहा बैठे पहले हुए कमाई ले कुछ खाए का, आपको कमाई लायक नहीं है, बहुत गुजार दिया. सब प्रतिनिधि खत्म हो गया. 21 साल.
अब बिल्कुल मैं सबसे पहले तस्वीरें आपको लखन की ही दिखाता हूँ. लखन बैठे हुए हैं, ये घर के ठीक बाहर खटिया पे बैठे हुए हैं और जो कुछ इनके ऊपर गुजरा है, जो कुछ घटनाक्रम इनके संग घटा है, पढ़कर मालूम चलता है कि व्यवस्था जब फेल होती है तो व्यक्ति किस तरीके से हताश हो जाता है. लखन जी, कितने साल रहे जेल में?
साहब 5 साल नैनी सेंटर में तो फिर जीवन कारा होगा. फिर हमें हाई कोर्ट बेल की है, फिर छोड़ रहे हैं. फिर लड़ते रहे साहब.
उम्र कितनी हो गई?
उम्र साहब 3 साल.
हाँ, 103 साल.
हाँ साहब.
क्या हुआ था? कौन सा घटनाक्रम, किससे झगड़ा हो गया था जब आपको गिरफ्तारी?
साहब हमारे यह रहा है, हमारे चाची को मारे रहे. चंदा, प्रभु, नुखई, ये चारों मारे रहे हैं चाची के, देशराज की महतारी के. तो फिर कलेसर देशराज मलेसर का लू, तो फिर अपन नहीं किए आए. फिर अपन जो है आप झगड़ा मचा दिए.
जेल में कुल कितना साल काट दिए जीवन का? कितना, कौन उम्र में जेल गए थे?
अरे साहब बहुत उम्र हो गए. अगर साहब न मांगते तो रोगा जी को स्वामी का तो हम कहा जाए कि कई साल का है, कहा अपना उधार ले आओ, तो उधार ले आओ तो देखें कहा वो नैनी सटर हुआ यहाँ को सब में भेज और देवबंदी मार के
बेल मिल गई, इतना साल जीवन का जेल में गुजार दिए, अब पीछे देखते हो किससे शिकायत है?
हाँ कितनी शिकायत है,
किससे शिकायत है?
हाँ अब उन्हें से जब हम सो रहे नहीं तो कहीं लाठी चल गए तो हमारे बेटो मेहरा जगाए तो उठ के साहब देखा दुआरे केवाड़ खोल के तो सब खून खून खर्चा रहा केवाड़ बंद के भीतर घुस गए कि हम लोग ने फंसा दिया पेपर घुस कर नहीं निकला फिर साहब पर मारी फिर 4 रोज बाद लगी दवाई करा फिर अस्पताल मर गया।
ये ऐसे जितने लोगों से झगड़ा हुआ था उनमें से कोई बचा है कि सबका देहांत हो गया?
और साहब जो
India hit much deeper than known till now. Pakistan dossier reveals undisclosed Indian airstrikes. What India didn't say, Pakistan just admitted. Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
What it takes to report from the front lines. Accuracy, urgency, courage and responsibility. At Republic School of Journalism, you will be trained for that reality. It's not a theory, it's a live learning inside a working newsroom from day one. If you want to report the truth when it matters the most, RSJ is where you begin. Courses begin from June 30th. Apply now.
I have seen what it takes to report from the front lines. Accuracy, courage, urgency and responsibility. At Republic School of Journalism, you will be trained for that reality. It is not theory. It is live learning from inside a working newsroom from day one. If you want to report the truth when it matters the most, Republic School of Journalism is where you begin. Course begins on the 30th of June. Apply now.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Thank you for joining us here on Republic TV. You're watching This is Exclusive, and at 7 p.m. we're coming to you with new videos. In a few seconds from now, we will get you 3 new videos, never seen before videos of Operation Sindoor. We told you that nuclear sites were hit. Of course, we never went on record with that, but we now have something on record that we didn't intend to hit these sites, but these sites have been hit nonetheless. Here are the headlines. At 7 p.m. on This is Exclusive. Pakistan reveals that India hit many more targets than initially revealed.
International level, are you going to say that you targeted? Obviously you didn't target. It got hit. And it put a lot of fear and apprehension in the mind of the people there.
Confirmed now that Pakistan nuclear sites were hit during Operation Sindoor.
You hit them so hard that they've got to reach out to you, so you've done your delivery of your arsenal very well. So I think that by itself, what did you hit? How quickly did you hit them? How hard you hit them?
Military advisor to the Raksha Mantri tells Republic that the moment our missiles hit Pakistan's nuclear sites, that's when Pakistan wanted a ceasefire.
Officially, you know, in 1965, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto declared a 1,000-year war against India when he entered the United Nations Security Council. And similar kind of venom was fueled by General Asim Munir against India and Hindus. Speak just 2 days or weeks before what happened in Pahalgam.
Chief of Defence Staff exposes Pakistan Army Chief. Failed Marshal Munir says it was his venom spewed 2 days before Pahalgam that may have triggered the attacks. Kamal Haasan pulled up. The court asks him why he has not apologized. His movie Thug Life banned in Karnataka. For the first time, ladies and gentlemen, we have videos of never seen before strikes during Operation Sindoor. And on This Is Exclusive tonight, we have 3 new videos that we are, for the first time, bringing to our viewers of how we struck the Rafiki Air Base in central Punjab in Pakistan in the early hours of 10th of May. The video footage also on the show tonight from Shorkot Tehsil. There are 3 videos. There are 3 videos that we have accessed tonight on the show. The video number 1, let me show you video number 1. The Rafiki Air Base in Jang City, central Punjab, Pakistan. Take a look at this video for the first time. It's an exclusive video, so I'll put an exclusive watermark over that. This is an exclusive video that we have accessed from the night of Operation Sindoor. Let's put the audio up on that. There is an audio in this video as well. I'll put the audio up. Take a look at that video, ladies and gentlemen. This is Target 1. This was the Rafiki Air Base. Rafiki Air Base. There is an audio of the missile strike. The impact, the moment of impact captured in audio and video. This is in central Punjab in Jang City, Pakistan. The video location exactly is Shorkot Tehsil. Shorkot Tehsil. The time of the video, 3:30 a.m. Date of the video, 10th of May 2025. Around the time when India struck Pakistani military air bases. Let me show you the second video now. On the show tonight, the second video. This is of the attack on the Jang City military installations in Punjab, Pakistan. Another vantage point. I'm playing this audio layer over the video as well. This is another video for the first time being accessed by Republic after Pakistan admitted to more sites being hit. There is a second video that we have accessed. Pakistan today in its dossier has claimed that India attacked 8 additional military installations on the intervening night of 9th and 10th of May. Video shows that many more locations were hit. Pakistan itself has claimed that between 3 o'clock and 4 a.m. in the morning on the 10th of May, 8 more sites could have been hit. Pakistan claimed that India had also attacked the Jang City on the 10th of May, but the Indian Air Force hadn't officially made a mention of that. But there are videos that show that perhaps more bases were hit. Shavan has accessed these videos. Shavan, how many bases did we go on record with? How many bases were hit? And what do the videos confirm? What does the dossier tell us? How many more did we actually strike?
Well, Niranjan, let me begin with the caveat. The caveat is this, that today Pakistan has once again launched their propaganda set. In fact, this is a dossier that has been prepared by the Pakistanis because they believe this is a counter view to what we have presented before the world. Now, in the process of doing so, they have basically revealed far more than what we had basically put out in the public domain. Because remember, for India, it has been a calibrated move, and that is the reason why on the 9th and the 10th of May, the military bases that were basically targeted, roughly about 9 of them, as far as Pakistan is concerned, it is more than 9. At least more than 8 to 9 is what we are given to understand. About 10 is what they've already referred to in the dossier. Jang being one such, and the other video that we have just put out is a clear indication of the fact that something did actually happen between the 9th and 10th. And if you join the dots with the former military advisor to the defense minister, who did actually confirm to Republic TV that on the 10th itself, India was not going to stop. This was only when Pakistan basically accepted India's terms. That's when India accepted and the ceasefire was brokered. But the reality is this, that today in that dossier that has been prepared by the Pakistanis, they have basically revealed the fact that not just the terror bases, but also military installations that were targeted, and it is much more than what we had already revealed so far. Many are asking this question that as to why exactly will India not admit the fact that we have actually hit out more? Because remember, when the number of targets that we had basically chosen, they were done in a precision manner. In the process, there are a few other places that have also got hit. Now, one such happens to be the nuclear facility at the Noor Khan base. Now, there was a lot of speculation that was doing the rounds, but now you have the former military advisor confirming that too. So, if you join the dots, the reality is this, that the damage that has been inflicted upon the Pakistanis is much more than what we have known so far.
Shawan, stay with me because there is also a map here that we have. This is, of the map of the damage which is way, way deeper than was initially revealed. Now, this is the map that we have. During our, not just the drone strike, there's a correction here. It's not just a drone strike, drone/missile strike on the intervening night of the 9th and 10th. The damage is way, way deeper than we actually thought. We went much deeper than what was initially claimed. From all the cities that were struck by our armed forces, Peshawar, Rawalpindi, Lahore, Jung, Bahawalnagar, Shorkot, Rahim Yar Khan, Sukkur and Karachi. Now, there are many more strikes that have been admitted by Pakistan in their newly released dossier, including in the Rafiki base, more places that were hit, at least eight more that were hit that I have now on the dossier. Let me go across also. We had an exclusive interaction with the military advisor to the Raksha Mantri, Lieutenant General Khandre, while speaking to my colleague Shawan, also spoke about how nuclear sites were in fact hit, not intentionally hit, but they were hit in the course of our retaliation when we targeted Pakistani military installations. And take a look at this particular map. Now, initially, we were told that about 10 to 11 air bases were hit inside Pakistan, but it appears it could have been way more than that, because Pakistan in its dossier has shown that at least 8 more targets than what we had initially claimed were hit by India. Now, that is a big admission, and we have supporting videos that have also come out this evening, accessed by Republic TV, showing that there was a strike in some of these locations mentioned in the Pakistan dossier on the intervening night of 9th and 10th between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. Here's the interview of the military advisor to the defense minister admitting that they were hit on nuke sites as well.
Perhaps also take it a little further, because there was a lot of talk happening that the nuclear sites were also being targeted. Was that true? Did we actually manage to at least come very close or somewhere close?
Okay, you remember what the DG Air Ops mentioned?
Thank you for telling us that Kirana Hill houses some nuclear installation. We did not know about it. Okay. And we've not hit Kirana Hills, whatever is there. Okay. I did not brief in my briefing yesterday. Thank you.
In fact, a media person asked him that, did you target? And he said, you tell me. So obviously at the international level, are you going to say that you targeted? Obviously you didn't target. It got hit, and it put a lot of fear and apprehension in the mind of the people there as to what is
Was
the
that
condition.
the turning point?
Possibly, yes. Possibly, yes.
The very fact that they got nervous that we have come that
Many
close?
things, you know, not only one. In exactly that half night that you think of, if you reached Noor Khan Air Base, what is it?
Where were we going further? Because I understand that's when all the calls were essentially being made by the Pakistanis ki ab band karo.
So if you've hit very valuable targets, so you've chosen your targets well.
Right.
If you hit them so hard that they've got to reach out to you, so you've done your delivery of your arsenal very well. So I think that by itself, what did you hit? How quickly did you hit them? How hard you hit them?
What I meant to ask, were we stopping there? Had Pakistan not dialed United States of America, then would India have stopped?
No.
So we had something up our sleeves.
So, see, every escalation ladder, we were always on top, no? So I'm not talking about their dialing. They are free to dial anybody in this world.
So we had something more in plan. And
yeah,
we
so
were going to go
when
ahead.
they reached out to us and they said enough. So we said, okay, if you've learned a lesson, that's all right.
In fact, I have a longer excerpt of that very, very critical interview. He will also be, by the way, Lieutenant General Khandre will also be joining Arnab on the debate tonight at 8 p.m. But before that, now the latest video that we have, and I'll play a little bit of that video on the screen. Now, this is the new video of Operation Sindoor that we have received tonight, this evening after verification. And that shows how in the Shore Court Tehsil, a little after 3:30 a.m., you can see the impact of India's missiles striking the Rafiki airbase. I'll show you a little bit of that video, and then I have a longer excerpt of Lieutenant General Khandre's interview. He was the military advisor to the Defence Minister during Operation Sindoor. Take a look at this. This is the video. As Pakistan admits more sites were hit, this is a video from Rafiki airbase, and in this video you can hear the background missile impact of India's missile strike in this video. And here's what Lieutenant General Khandre says: the strike that broke Pakistan's back. Take a listen.
There was a lot of talk happening that the nuclear sites were also being targeted. Was that true? Did we actually manage to at least come very close or somewhere close?
Okay, you remember what the DG Air Ops mentioned. In fact, a media person asked him that, did you target? And he said, you tell me. So obviously at the international level, are you going to say that you targeted? Obviously you didn't target. It got hit, and it put a lot of fear and apprehension in the mind of the people there as to what is the condition.
Was that the turning point?
Possibly, yes. Possibly, yes.
The very fact that they got nervous that we have come that
Many
close.
things, not only one. In exactly that half night that you think of, if you reached Noor Khan Air Base, what is it?
Where were we going further? Because I understand that's when all the calls were essentially being made by the Pakistanis ki ab band karo.
So if you've hit very valuable targets, so you've chosen your targets well.
Right.
If you hit them so hard that they've got to reach out to you, so you've done your delivery of your arsenal very well. So I think that by itself, what did you hit? How quickly did you hit them? How hard you hit them?
What I meant to ask, were we stopping there? Had Pakistan not dialed United States of America, then would India have stopped?
No.
So we had something up our sleeves.
So, see, every escalation ladder, we were always on top, no? So I'm not talking about their dialing. They are free to dial anybody in this world.
So we had something more in plan.
Yeah,
we
so
were going to
when they reached out to us and they said enough. So we said, okay, if you've learned a lesson, that's all right.
I want to ask you this because all of us somewhere down the line thought that there is something more to the Operation Sindoor. There was something, as all of this is part of the plan, AWACS getting destroyed. The very next day you have military bases that were targeted, which no one ever thought that would have gone to such an extent. What was the next step? What were we really going ahead at?
Okay, if you're trying to say, because a lot of media started saying that POJK should have been done, they should have, no, listen. When we started, we were looking only at the terrorist ecosystem. So that was how we were going to do it. Getting POJK or getting a part of Pakistan, it's a deliberate operation. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of preparation. Take your mind back to 1971. It was around the same time that Indira Gandhi had told then General Manekshaw, later Field Marshal Manekshaw. And what did he say? He said, you need time, And this was This was not our action, it was our reaction.
Reaction.
So there is a difference between a deliberately planned military campaign and a response. So this was a response. This was not a deliberately planned military campaign. If that happens, you need a lot of time to prepare.
If they wouldn't have called us then, after we had targeted the military bases, would we still have continued?
See, continued in which manner? In the sense, if he had hit at us again, we would have hit him back again harder than this.
And but we were prepared for something.
Yes, obviously. See, you've got to subdue him. Okay, you go through this term of, or 3 terms of conflict initiation, conflict management and conflict termination. Every time you get into this kind of business, serious business, and you initiated conflict because you were reacting. So the choice was with us. When, where, how. And then you were managing that every time he was crossing the escalatory ladder, you were going higher. And you always have an exit strategy. You can't go on to a conflict and keep fighting till your tongue is hanging out. You always have an honorable exit strategy where you're on top. So you see at every place when we were telling him, and we were giving him an offer that we can stop if you want, which he didn't accept. The final acceptance was from his side. But at every stage there was an exit strategy for him, for us also. You know, you can't get into a conflict and then at the end of it you don't know why you stopped it or what it is. So you're not wanting to go for an all-out war, but you are wanting to teach him a lesson, which you did.
Immediately thereafter, the narrative was this, that there was a third-party intervention, that is the United States of America. The call that went to Marco Rubio from the Pakistani side. I want to understand, in the war room and obviously in the government at that point in time, what was really going on? Did we really accept any sort of calls or any sort of intervention from the United States of America?
No, nothing. Absolutely very clear. It was the DGMO from the Pakistan side, and that is what we were looking at. Nothing beyond that, no third party, nothing.
But can you really trust the Pakistani side here? Because many would say that they are buying time. They are buying time so that they can respond once again. They are buying time so that they can irritate us further. Can you really trust the Pakistanis?
We never trust Pakistanis, we never trust Chinese also.
Getting in the next big breaking update, mass protests have broken out in Gilgit-Baltistan in Pakistan. In POK, several groups are protesting, and there are simultaneous protests that are ongoing. 3 major protests taking place across Gilgit-Baltistan, and each sparked by a different but a significant issue. These are exclusive pictures that we're getting in here on the show this evening. From students to women to traders, all protesting simultaneously in Gilgit-Baltistan in POK. Let me go across to Gursimran joining us with details. Gursimran, quickly, if you can tell our viewers the reason for each of these protests.
See, Niranjan, it's the Awami Action League in the Baltistan, Gilgit-Baltistan, that are holding the protest, and these protests are on the Karakoram highway, that is connects the CPEC route of the China to Pakistan. The protests are against the suspension of the approvals that were earlier given to the imports that come to the source dry port of the Gilgit, but now it has been stopped by the Pakistani federal authorities, which is making it really very difficult for the businessmen, the import-export businessmen in the Gilgit-Baltistan to carry out their day-to-day works, and it has also brought them to the financial crunch, after which the Awami Action League has decided, it is also backed by the Pakistani Tehreek-e-Insaf. They have decided to block the highway. It's been more than 72 hours that the Karakoram highway has been blocked, which is making it really difficult for the activities of the CPEC to continue. But the people are saying that in the days to come, they will be further going with the agitation, and they will be blocking the other highways as well. That's one that is leading to the capital of Pakistan as well. Reason being, they are saying that they are being treated as second-class citizens. Their rights are being snatched, and also the bill that was the policy that was brought in by the federal government to control the minerals of the Gilgit-Baltistan, that has also irked the people, that their minerals
I'll have to leave it at that. Running out of time there. Gursimran, thank you for joining us with those inputs. Simultaneous protests breaking out in Pakistan, and Republic TV accessing the exclusive pictures. 3 protests: women, students, traders, government employees revolting against Pakistan. That's it on this edition of This Is Exclusive. big edition of the debate coming up starting 8 p.m. with Arnab. Stay tuned and thanks for watching. Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. रहो बेफिक्र.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा.
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं. रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड.
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला. सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप.
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?
Honestly, I love my new fans. पुराने वाले बेकार में शोर करते.
सर फैंस हैं, शोर तो करेंगे ही ना.
नए वाले नहीं करते. And they listen to what I say.
The new generation Orient BLDC fans. Super silent performance with voice control.
सिली में आए तो और
Cricket fans.
आपकी फेवरेट हुंडई कार्स पर मिल रही है अमेजिंग डील्स. वैसे लोगे तो आप हुंडई ही, चाहे दिल की सुनो या डील्स की, तो जल्दी चले आओ हुंडई शोरूम.
Hi, this is Chef Ranveer Brar. Guarantee you brilliance on behalf of IAHM.
विमल में गुलिस्तां की ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ घुले तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की इस जुबान में खुद को ऐसा डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं. विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं ना? विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने.
कंधों से मिलते हैं कंधे, कदमों से कदम मिलते हैं, हम चलते हैं जब ऐसे तो दिल दुश्मन के हिलते हैं. Who's going to start now?
Okay, and go.
Namaskar, this is Shankar. This is Shivam. And this is Siddharth. And today we're here at the biggest stadium in India for the biggest match of the year, which is the IPL Final 2025. But today is really special because we are going to be performing as a tribute to the armed forces. We're going to be singing a garland of melodies for them, and this is a way in which we Indians can offer our gratitude, our salutations, and our appreciation for what the armed forces have done for us, will do for us, and are doing for us.
They are the real heroes, and through our music, if we can even bring out a small smile, I think it will be a huge achievement for us. So we're really looking forward to this, and we are truly honored to be here and experience this magical moment.
कंधों से मिलते हैं कंधे, कदमों से कदम मिलते हैं, हम चलते हैं जब ऐसे तो दिल दुश्मन के हिलते हैं. अब तो हमें आगे बढ़ते हैं रहना, अब तो हमें साथी है बस इतना ही कहना. अब जो भी हो शोला बन के पत्थर है पिघलाना, अब जो भी हो बादल बन के पर्वत पर है छाना. कंधों से मिलते हैं कंधे, कदमों से कदम मिलते हैं, हम चलते हैं जब ऐसे तो दिल दुश्मन के हिलते हैं. भारत माता की जय.
I want to then perhaps also take it a little further, because there was a lot of talk happening that the nuclear sites were also being targeted. Was that true? Did we actually manage to at least come very close or somewhere close?
Okay, you remember what the DG Air Ops mentioned?
Thank you for telling us that Kirana Hill houses some nuclear installation. We did not know about it. Okay. And we've not hit Kirana Hills, whatever is there. Okay. I did not brief in my briefing yesterday. Thank you.
In fact, a media person asked him that, did you target? And he said, you tell me. So obviously at the international level, are you going to say that you targeted? Obviously you didn't target. It got hit, and it put a lot of fear and apprehension in the mind of the people there as to what is
Was
the
that the turning point?
Possibly, yes. Possibly, yes.
The very fact that they got...
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. रहो बेफिक्र.
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का.
MDH की देगी मिर्च.
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?
Honestly, I love my new fans. पुराने वाले बेकार में शोर करते।
सर फैंस हैं, शोर तो करेंगे ही ना।
नए वाले नहीं करते and they listen to what I say.
The new generation Orient BLDC fans. Super silent performance with voice control.
Silly me, I thought
Cricket fans.
मेरी नई हुंडई एक्स्टर। अरे तुमने भी तो कल नई कार ली है ना? उसमें भी तो होगा ना ये वॉइस इनेबल सनरूफ?
है ना अंकल? सिंगर इनेबल सनरूफ।
पैडल शिफ्टर्स वो तो होंगे ही।
जस्ट पेडल्स।
डील्स और बेनिफिट्स ये तो मिले होंगे ना?
ये मिला।
हाँ? इन्होंने तो लॉलीपॉप ले लिया। क्या आप भी लेना चाहोगे? बिल्कुल नहीं। तो जल्दी चले आओ हुंडई शोरूम। आपकी फेवरेट हुंडई कार्स पर मिल रही है अमेजिंग डील्स। वैसे लोगे तो आप हुंडई ही, चाहे दिल की सुनो या डील्स की।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
I want to then perhaps also take it a little further, because there was a lot of talk happening that the nuclear sites were also being targeted. Was that true? Did we actually manage to at least come very close or somewhere close?
Okay, you remember what the DG Air Ops mentioned?
Thank you for telling us that Kirana Hill houses some nuclear installation. We did not know about it. Okay. And we've not hit Kirana Hills, whatever is there. Okay. I did not brief in my briefing yesterday. Thank you.
In fact, a media person asked him that, did you target? And he said, you tell me. So obviously at the international level, are you going to say that you targeted? Obviously you didn't target. It got hit and it put a lot of fear and apprehension in the mind of the people there as to what is
was
the
that
condition.
the turning point?
Possibly, yes. Possibly, yes.
The very fact that they got nervous that we have come that
Many
close?
things, you know, not only one. In exactly that half night that you think of, if you reached Noor Khan Air Base, what is it?
Where were we going further? Because I understand that's when all the calls were essentially being made by the Pakistanis ki ab band karo.
So if you've hit very valuable targets, so you've chosen your targets well.
Right.
If you hit them so hard that they've got to reach out to you, so you've done your delivery of your arsenal very.
From your smartphones to your smart TV, trending stories are breaking the internet. And this show is all about what's trending today. Lights, camera, and IPL finale. The eager wait for all the IPL fans has taken the internet by storm, and what's special on today's edition of Trending Today is Shankar Mahadevan's performance that he has sent specially for our viewers. Outcome is important, not wickets. That is CDS General Anil Chauhan as he uses cricket analogy to highlight India's military strategy. Chess prodigy Anvi, gets hero's welcome in Indigo flight, and that viral video is something that you certainly need to watch out for. Also on the show is details of Ayodhya Ram Temple Pran Pratishtha ceremony phase 2, and finally, Gujarati tourists perform Garba on street in Austria. The viral video has sparked mixed reaction. We are tracking this and a lot more for you on Trending Today with me, Tanisha Vasti. As the sun sets over Ahmedabad's Narendra Modi Stadium tonight, the grand finale of the Indian Premier League's 18th season will go beyond cricketing excitement to feature a heartfelt musical tribute. Celebrated singer-composer Shankar Mahadevan, joined by his sons Siddharth and Shivam, will perform a moving homage to the Indian Armed Forces during the IPL 2025 closing ceremony.
Namaskar, this is Shankar. This is Shivam. And this is Siddharth. And today we're here at the biggest stadium in India for the biggest match of the year, which is the IPL Final 2025.
But today is really special because we are going to be performing as a tribute to the armed forces. We're going to be singing a garland of melodies for them, and this is a way in which we Indians can offer our gratitude, our salutations, and our appreciation for what the armed forces have done for us, will do for us, and are doing for us.
They're the real heroes, and through our music, if we can even bring out a small smile, I think it'll be a huge achievement for us. So we're really looking forward to this, and we are truly honored to be here and experience this magical moment.
कंधों से मिलते हैं कंधे, कदमों से कदम मिलते हैं, हम चलते हैं जब ऐसे तो दिल दुश्मन के हिलते हैं। अब तो हमें आगे बढ़ते हैं रहना, अब तो हमें साथी है बस इतना ही कहना। अब जो भी हो शोला बन के पत्थर है पिघलाना, अब जो भी हो बादल बन के पर्वत पर है छाना। कंधों से मिलते हैं कंधे, कदमों से कदम मिलते हैं, हम चलते हैं जब ऐसे तो दिल दुश्मन के हिलते हैं। भारत माता की जय।
What a beautiful tribute. Now as Bengaluru prepares to take on Punjab in the IPL 2025 final, devoted fans of the Bengaluru-based team are going to great lengths and visiting every possible shrine in hopes of finally witnessing a long-awaited championship triumph. Now, in a season defined by close calls and bold gambles, Bengaluru and Punjab square off in the Indian Premier League finale at the Narendra Modi Stadium. The Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad to decide cricket's richest prize. Neither side has ever lifted the IPL trophy. Victory tonight will crown a first-time champion. RCB returned to a final after 9 years, powered by Virat Kohli's prolific run tally and Phil Salt's power play builds, while Rajat captaincy has galvanized their attack led by Josh Hazelwood and mystery spinner Suyash Sharma. Now Punjab's resurgence is equally compelling. New captain Shreyas Iyer arrives on the back of an unbeaten 87 in qualifier 2 with Arshdeep Singh's Yorkers and Kagiso Rabata's pace ready to test Bengaluru's batting depth. Head-to-head, the sides are level at 18 wins apiece. Tonight breaks more than one deadlock. Joining me live on this is Himanshu from the digital news floor. Himanshu, first thing first, who are you supporting and who do you think has the edge this time?
Well, Tanisha, I will talk about my support later, but let me tell you, there is an electrifying atmosphere at the Narendra Modi International Stadium in Ahmedabad. Punjab they have won the toss and elected to bowl first on a pitch that looks like a belter. Anything in less than 230, 240 and Royal Challengers Bangalore would be struggling. Now, my favorite, obviously, RCB, because there is one trophy that's still elusive of Virat Kohli is the IPL. And 18 seasons have gone. Kohli has announced his retirement from Test cricket. This is one trophy he badly needs. And then there are players who define the game itself. Virat Kohli is one of them. And I think when they are batting first, that should be the only thing on their mind. Remember Phil Salt is back in the game. There was a lot of confusion pre-match whether he will make it or not. He is just blessed with a baby, but he is back in the game. And then this makes an exciting opening combination. Phil Salt and Virat Kohli, and if they can manage somewhere around 250 on a belter of a pitch, Punjab Kings 11, they have a match on. Also, I would like to tell you about the two captains, Tanisha, Rajat Patidar and Shreyas Iyer. They both are in prime form. They both have scored heavily. They have taken their team out of the woods on several occasions, and they both are first time into the IPL finale. So, cracker of a final match we are expecting tonight.
Well, absolutely, Himanshu. Like I was talking, like you rightly pointed, in fact, the two captains, all eyes will be, of course, on them. Talking about the captains, Himanshu, who do you think this time has an edge? Because none of the teams have picked the trophy yet.
I think Shreyas Iyer on that captaincy thing, one thing that he told right after winning the toss, he said we would have anyways bowled first. So that is something. Also he is saying that it's a pressure that will be taken into account. He is not treating it as any other game. It's a final game, and then they know that you need to handle pressure well. Also talking about Punjab Kings 11, I think they are also relying heavily on their bowlers, Kyle Jamieson and Arshdeep Singh. Yuzvendra Chahal will be the trump card. So I think it's the way you rotate your impact subs and how you handle the crucial 4-5 overs, the decisive 4-5 overs, somewhere around 16th over to 20th over is going to be the key today. Exciting. They're both captains. There's nothing to choose between the two captains. But if you will have to say like who holds the edge, I think Shreyas Iyer captaincy skills. He has shown a bit more calm and assurance on the ground.
Absolutely, Himanshu. I thank you on that note, and it's going to be an eager wait for all the IPL fans now. Speaking of cricket, ladies and gentlemen, Chief of Defence Staff Anil Chauhan drew a cricket analogy while addressing military losses from the India-Pakistan conflict after Operation Sindoor. Now, he stressed that the overall outcome holds greater significance than individual setbacks, comparing the victory to winning a test match by an Indian innings.
When I was asked about losses on our side, I said these are not important. The results and how you act is important. It would be not very correct to talk about losses. Means numbers, as I call it. Means I'll give a detailed kind of an answer on this. Usually in a match, suppose you go into a football match and you win 3-2. He scored 2 goals and you scored 4 goals. So that's an even sided match. But suppose you go on in a test match, cricket test match, and you win by innings defeat. Then there's no question of how many wickets and how many balls and how many players. Since there is always this inquisitivity as to the result of your strikes, which was visible, which was a moral psychological domain and what was visible to us, all of us, not to us, to globally, everyone. So, based on technical parameters like electronic intelligence, signal intelligence, at some point of time, we will take out this particular data and share it with us to answer those queries and inquisitiveness of people like you who keep telling me how many aircraft did we destroy, how many radars did we destroy. We will make a rough assessment of that and come out with that shortly.
Now, the comment has, of course, drawn reactions with netizens praising this unlikely yet strangely accurate analogy. The countdown begins for a historic leap in India's space journey as Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla prepares to become the first Indian astronaut to visit the International Space Station. Scheduled for launch on 8th of June 2025 as the pilot of Axiom Mission 4, also known as AX4, Shukla's mission marks India's return to human spaceflight after more than 40 years. He will command the SpaceX Dragon spacecraft on a 14-day mission, docking with the ISS and representing a new chapter in India's space ambitions. Hot off the plate and straight to your screens. Next segment is Hot Trends. India's D. Gukesh exemplified humility in victory after defeating Magnus Carlsen, one of the greatest chess players of all time. On Sunday, May 1st, Gukesh pulled off a major upset at Norway Chess 2025, overcoming the tournament's home favorite in what may be
the biggest win of his career. Reflecting on the unexpected result, Gukesh admitted, and I quote, "I would lose 99 out of 100 times against Carlson," calling it a lucky day for him.
This endgame, I was basically trying to get some kind of knight g5, and luckily after king f6, h4, I got this knight g5, and although his king comes to, king walk probably is winning, I have some spite checks, and yeah, I mean, okay, 100 times, 99 out of 100 times I would lose, but
But you didn't.
Yeah, just a lucky day.
Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday congratulated World Chess Champion De Gukesh on his first ever victory over Magnus Carlsen at the Norway Chess 2025 tournament. The win, which came in round 6 of the prestigious event, marked a major milestone in the young Grandmaster's career. A day after his surprising loss to De Gukesh at Norway Chess, Magnus Carlsen acknowledged that the reigning world champion's energy and fighting spirit had earned him the victory. Carlsen, however, stated that under normal circumstances, he would have expected to win the match.
Like, I remember being that age myself, and sometimes kind of your energy, like fighting qualities and just optimism is sometimes, bigger than the quality of your moves. So I think for a long time he was just more or less blindly pushing, and then on a normal day, of course, I win that game, and things look quite differently. But what he does well, as I alluded to, is he really fights very, very well, and he was there to take his chance, so he deserves credit for that. But that's the kind of chance that I really, really have to put away. Otherwise, I have no chance.
As Bengaluru prepares for their most eagerly awaited match in 18 years, fans nationwide are sparing no effort to back their team's quest for the IPL trophy. In a unique and heartfelt gesture, a passionate supporter in Bengaluru resorted to an ancient ritual to ward off any bad luck that might hinder the team's success. Reflecting on her meeting with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Usha Vance described the experience as truly special. She shared a light-hearted moment, saying her children, upon seeing Modi's white beard and hair, immediately associated him with a grandfather figure.
That was really very special. We'd actually had a chance to meet him before, and it's funny. My kids saw him. They were sort of sleep deprived in Paris, and they saw an Indian man with a white beard and white hair, and they just put him in the grandfather category immediately. So they are very into him. They just love him. And he really cemented his status by giving our 5-year-old a birthday present that day. So when we were able to visit his home, they just sort of ran up, they were hugging him. He was just incredibly kind and generous to them.
Chess prodigy Anvi Deepak Hinch received a hero's welcome aboard an Indigo flight where returning from the Western Asian Youth Chess Championship. Now, this was held in Bangkok. The 8-year-old sensation clinched 6 medals at the tournament, 2 gold and 4 silver, held from April 20 to 29th. Now, in a now viral video, Anvi is seen already seated with an accompanying adult when the pilot makes a special announcement, proudly spotlighting her achievements. He says, and I quote, "This little girl is returning after becoming a world champion," unquote. She has just won the Western Asia Youth Chess Championship 2025.
Young girl, may I request you to stand up, please, if you are hearing me? Ladies and gentlemen, this young girl is returning after becoming the world champion. just won the World Cadet and Youth Rapid Chess Championship 2025. Oh, I can hear the applause. That's great. Very good.
Fast, trendy and zippy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Fast Takes. A disturbing incident has come to light in Noida Sector 53, where a young man was hit by a Mahindra Thar SUV driven in a fit of rage. The victim was thrown into a roadside drain and the entire episode was captured on camera. The footage, now viral on social media, has sparked swift police action and renewed public concerns about the growing menace of road rage and street violence in the city. The passing out parade of Agniveers took place at the 39 Gorkha Training Center in Varanasi, marking the culmination of their intensive training under the Agnipath scheme. Now, the event highlighted the discipline, commitment and operational readiness of the newly inducted soldiers. Senior military officials and proud family members were present to witness and celebrate the achievements of these young recruits as they embarked on their journey of service to the nation. Shifting our focus to some breaking news coming in now. In the upcoming Parliament session, we learned that the impeachment motion against Justice Yashwant Verma, who was involved in the biggest judicial scandal, will be brought. It is Union Minister Kiran Rijiju who will be speaking to all parties about this. Now, this is a huge development that has come to light. Remember, the Parliament monsoon session is just about to begin in a month's time. And amid this, we learned that the motion will be passed. Kiran Rijiju, the Union Minister, will be speaking to all parties, taking them into confidence on this. The impeachment motion against Justice Yashwant Verma will be brought soon. This is via Government of India sources. Senior Executive Editor Abhishek Kapoor is joining me live on that. Abhishek, this is a huge development. Abhishek, that has come in, the impeachment motion against Justice Yashwant Verma, the same judge who was involved in the biggest judicial scandal.
Well, yes, it's a confirmation coming in from top sources in the government that this is going to happen. There were some ifs and buts. There were some unconfirmed reports, but now we are getting to hear that a decision has been taken by the government that they would bring in an impeachment motion indeed against Justice Yashwant Verma, for which an outreach is going to be made officially by the Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju. He would be connecting with the opposition benches, their respective leaders in both the houses, and most likely the motion would be brought in the Rajya Sabha, and then after its passing there would be taken to the Lok Sabha. Remember, for an impeachment motion to pass, there is a special majority needed in both the houses separately, and so it's important that all the parties are taken into confidence, are on the same page. In fact, opposition has also shown its intent otherwise that they might go with the government on this to fix accountability in the higher judiciary. And so the task itself of mustering the numbers might not be very difficult, Tanisha, but still a formal outreach is going to be made by the Parliamentary Affairs Minister with the respective floor leaders of the opposition parties, and the government, of course, very keen that accountability is fixed based on the report of the judiciary itself, and then then, of course, whatever process comes out. Because remember, during the impeachment of a judge of the High Court or Supreme Court, there is an investigation that has to be carried out. So it's not just the report which is already there with the government, which in a way already recommends impeachment of Justice Verma based on whatever evidence they could gather. There would be another round of investigation and inquiry, which would be part of the impeachment process, following which the motion would be put to vote. So I think this is a significant development coming in ahead of the monsoon session of Parliament, which happens to be in the month of July. Still more than a month to go, but an in-principle decision having been taken is what we are getting to learn from sources in the government.
Well, absolutely, Abhishek. One more question, Abhishek, that I wanted to know from you is that once the impeachment motion is brought against Justice Yashwant Verma, what is the procedure that will be followed after? Because we learned that Union Minister Kiran Rijiju will be getting in touch with all the parties regarding the same.
All right, so the process is, so far as impeachment of a judge is concerned, Tanisha, that if it's moved in the Rajya Sabha, at least 50 MPs should be seconding it. If it is being moved in the Lok Sabha, at least 100 MPs should be, backing it. And once the motion is admitted, then it is over. An inquiry is ordered, an investigation is ordered, which is headed by a Supreme Court judge. And once that report comes in, the Parliament takes up that report. It is tabled in the Parliament. It takes up that report. Then a voting happens, and then with a special majority in both the houses separately, it should be passed. And subsequently, of course, the judge is considered impeached, following which, of course, the judge has to go. This process would be followed in this case also, beginning the monsoon session when the government wants to bring in the motion. And as I mentioned, an outreach is already being made, and the Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju would be formally communicating this decision of the government to the opposition parties and ascertain the numbers. Should not be difficult, but still that process is going to be followed is what we are getting to hear.
Well, absolutely, Abhishek. That will be the most awaited story of the day. We're tracking this story very closely. Thank you very much for joining us here on the broadcast. Well, viewers, that's all that we could pack in this edition of Trending Today. We will be back tomorrow with more trending stories. Coming up next after the break is Debate with Arnab.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. रहो बेफिक्र।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?
Honestly, I love my new fans. पुराने वाले बेकार में शोर करते।
सर फैंस हैं, शोर तो करेंगे ही ना।
नए वाले नहीं करते। And they listen to what I say.
The new generation Orient BLDC fans, super silent performance with voice control.
Silly me, I thought.
Cricket fans.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
कंधों से मिलते हैं कंधे, कदमों से कदम मिलते हैं, हम चलते हैं जब ऐसे तो दिल दुश्मन के हिलते हैं।
Who's going to start now?
Okay, and go.
Namaskar, this is Shankar. This is Shivam.
And this is Siddharth.
And today we're here at the biggest stadium in India for the biggest match of the year, which is the IPL Final 2025.
But today is really special because we are going to be performing as a tribute to the armed forces. We're going to be singing a garland of melodies for them, and this is a way in which we Indians can offer our gratitude, our salutations and our appreciation for what the armed forces have done for us, will do for us and are doing for us.
They are the real heroes, and through our music, if we can even bring out a small smile, I think it will be a huge achievement for us. So we're really looking forward to this, and we are truly honored to be here and experience this magical moment.
कंधों से मिलते हैं कंधे, कदमों से कदम मिलते हैं, हम चलते हैं जब ऐसे तो दिल दुश्मन के हिलते हैं। अब तो हमें आगे बढ़ते हैं रहना, अब तो हमें साथी है बस इतना ही कहना। अब जो भी हो शोला बन के पत्थर है पिघलाना, अब जो भी हो बादल बन के पर्वत पर है छाना। कंधों से मिलते हैं कंधे, कदमों से कदम मिलते हैं, हम चलते हैं जब ऐसे तो दिल दुश्मन के हिलते हैं। भारत माता की जय।
I want to then perhaps also take it a little further, because there was a lot of talk happening that the nuclear sites were also being targeted. Was that true? Did we actually manage to at least come very close or somewhere close?
Okay, you remember what the DG Air Ops mentioned?
Thank you for telling us that Kirana Hill houses some nuclear installation. We did not know about it. Okay. And we've not...
International level, are you going to say that you targeted? Obviously you didn't target. It got hit and it put a lot of fear and apprehension in the mind of the people there.
It's the biggest confirmation on Republic military advisor to Defence Ministry during Operation Sindoor confirms Pakistan's nuclear command centre was hit.
You hit them so hard that they've got to reach out to you, so you've done your delivery of your arsenal very well. So I think that by itself, what did you hit, how quickly did you hit them, how hard you hit them.
Lieutenant General Kandari confirms Pakistan's nuclear facility getting hit was the biggest turning point. Fear gripped Pakistan. Pakistan admits large-scale damage. Internal dossier reveals more targets hit by India than revealed.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho Befikar.
Amity University has one of India's largest merit scholarship programs for brilliant students. Over 9,000 students with 90% plus in their 12th boards are currently at Amity, benefiting from the culture of academic excellence and focus on research and innovation. To be with like-minded students who want to be successful, apply at amity.edu/scholarships.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?
Honestly, I love my new fans. पुराने वाले बेकार में शोर करते।
सर फैंस हैं, शोर तो करेंगे ही ना।
नए वाले नहीं करते। And they listen to what I say.
The new generation Orient BLDC fans. Super silent performance with voice control.
Silly me, I thought.
Cricket fans.
Hi, this is Chef Ranveer Brar. Guarantee you brilliance on behalf of IAHM.
विमल में गुलिस्तान की ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ घुले तो जी ललचाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की जुबान में खुद को ऐसा डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं ना? विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
On the show tonight, a huge revelation on Operation Sindoor. A big admission by the then principal advisor to the Ministry of Defence that we did touch Pakistan's nuclear base. At 9 o'clock tonight, why the Pakistani dossier, their document admits that India hit not one, not two, not five, but many more of their targets, that it was a precise and deep hit. At the start of the program, I want to talk a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, about a huge bit of information that came into our studios when we did an interview with Lieutenant General Vinod G. Khandare. Now, Lieutenant General Vinod G. Khandare is with us this evening from Bengaluru. Good evening, sir. It's a pleasure to have you. And I was watching your interview, and it gives us a big talking point for tonight. So there he is, General Khandare, and let me introduce him. He is and has been, till a few days back, till the 16th, in fact, he has been principal advisor to the Raksha Mantri at the Minister of Defence. So he had a completely inside view on what happened during Operation Sindoor. In the course of an interview that he has done, where we get a sense of the insider story of what happened during Operation Sindoor, General Khandare revealed to Shravan Sen, our senior editor, that India did hit, and I repeat the words, that India did hit nuclear bases in Pakistan. He didn't specify the date, but he said we did hit it. Shravan asked him, did you target the nuclear bases? To which he said, I'm never going to admit, and we are obviously not going to say that we targeted the nuclear bases, but he said that in the process of hitting Pakistan, we did end up hitting the nuclear bases as well. And then he went on to say, when he was asked, that this made Pakistan extremely nervous and shaky. And in his words, it put a lot of fear and a lot of apprehension in Pakistan. And as a result of this fear and apprehension, this, in his view, the hitting of the nuclear bases was the turning point in Operation Sindoor, when we got a completely upper hand over the Pakistanis. Now, viewers, see the significance of this statement. It is the first time ever that anybody who has been part of the operating team during Operation Sindoor, right there in the Ministry of Defence, has said that we did hit a nuclear base. And he has said that this was a turning point. And no, we are not putting words in General Khandare's mouth. We could never do that. And that's why we've called him live, and we can talk in more detail about it. What are the questions which emerge from this statement? This admission, if I were to use the word admission, implicitly confirms India's strike on Pakistan's nuclear sites. Till tonight, till we broke this story, this entire issue had a sense of perceived ambiguity. You would hear about it, these visuals were put out there, we knew what happened at Noor Khan Air Base, we knew what happened at Kirana Hills, but there was no official confirmation. As usual, Republic is here before you with the most important official confirmation on this matter. That, and presumably in the early hours of 10th of May, we hit Pakistan's nuclear sites. Now remember that orange cloud that you're seeing on your screen. Remember the unknown explosion. Remember the theories about a seismic event. Remember the news about American experts flying down, boron being brought in, the tunnel which had the nuclear bases. And now you know that that was not a piece of fiction. It was not written in the newsrooms of Republic. It did happen. At a strategic level, what does this signify? It signifies an incredible amount of political commitment in India. Incredible amount of political commitment to hit Pakistan and make Pakistan suffer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a big story. It is the lead story of the day. And we have the newsmaker joining us right on the other side.
Thank you for telling us that Kirana Hill houses some nuclear installation. We did not know about it. Okay. And we've not hit Kirana Hills, whatever is there. Okay. I did not brief in my briefing yesterday. Thank you.
This was Air Marshal A.K. Bharti's first response when asked whether India has hit Pakistan's nuclear sites. It was a denial, but the smile did leave the room for speculation. 21 days later, the first ever confirmation has come. There was a lot of talk happening that the nuclear sites were also being targeted. Was that true? Did we actually manage to at least come very close or somewhere close?
Okay, you remember what the DG Air Ops mentioned. In fact, a media person asked him that, did you target? And he said, you tell me. So obviously at the international level, are you going to say that you targeted? Obviously you didn't target. It got hit and it put a lot of fear and apprehension in the mind of the people there as to what is the condition.
Was that the turning point?
Possibly, yes. Possibly, yes.
We did not target. It got hit. These are the words coming directly from the military advisor to Defence Minister during Operation Sindoor, the former Deputy National Security Advisor, Lieutenant General Vinod Khandare. He is one of India's foremost strategic mind, having worked very closely with National Security Advisor Ajit Doval. The speculation has now been put to rest. Pakistan's nuclear facility at Noor Khan was hit but not targeted. This explains Pakistan's next steps. Listen in why Pakistan panicked, got on their knees and begged for ceasefire.
So, if you've hit very valuable targets, so you've chosen your targets well.
Right.
If you hit them so hard that they've got to reach out to you, so you've done your delivery of your arsenal very well. So I think that by itself, what did you hit? How quickly did you hit them? How hard you hit them?
For those who kept raising questions on the ceasefire, this is another confirmation of how a panicked and distraught Pakistan called India.
They reached out to us and they said enough. So we said okay, if you've learnt a lesson, that's all right.
We would not stop if Pakistan had not begged for the ceasefire. What I meant to ask, were we stopping there? Had Pakistan not dialed United States of America, then would India have stopped?
No.
India's policy during the entire conflict has been measured and calibrated. While we did demolish terror dens, we did not begin the targeting of military installations. The strike on Pakistan's air bases came as a response to Pakistan's swarm of armed drones which targeted at least 15 Indian cities. Since the commencement of Operation Sindoor, Pakistan is trying very hard to keep a strong face. But India's military doctrine has now changed.
आतंक के विरुद्ध भारत की लक्ष्मण रेखा अब एकदम स्पष्ट है। अब फिर कोई टेरर अटैक हुआ तो भारत जवाब देगा, पक्का जवाब देगा। दुनिया भी भारत के इस नए रूप को, इस नई व्यवस्था को समझते हुए ही आगे बढ़ रही है।
Pakistan knows that business as usual is no more the norm. New India has zero tolerance for Pakistan's terror tactics. New India does not forgive. New India knows how to punish the perpetrators in their own homes.
And this is a very important conversation today, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're watching this at home or on streaming, you can ask others to also come in. I have with me Lieutenant General Khandare. Lieutenant General Khandare has held various important positions in the Indian Army and has till recently, till a few days back, been the military advisor, the principal advisor to the Ministry of Defence during Operation Sindoor, which obviously has given him a very important operational role, advisory role, and more than a ringside view. General Khandare, good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us. I hope you can hear me clearly, sir.
Yes, Arnab, good evening. Jai Hind to all your viewers. I can hear you clearly.
Jai Hind, sir. Sir, I'll come straight to the point. Did we hit Pakistan's nuclear facilities during Operation Sindoor? Did we hit their nuclear facilities or nuclear bases or nuclear storage hubs?
You know, Arnab, we are strategic analysts. You know, when we do analysis, we do it in a manner that we join the dots. Every possible input, whatever we get, and our analysis leads us to an assessment, which is up to the event and even subsequent to the event. So when I say what made me conclude this, I want to tell you whatever happened on that night, I want to take you a step ahead. Can we do that?
Let's do that. We have all the time, sir. We have all the time, but I would request my team to not just mention that you're a defense expert, but that you have been till recently, the principal advisor to the MOD. Please continue, sir. Please. Yes, sir.
I'll walk you through, Arnab, and your viewers to understand the psychology of Pakistan military leaders, and that will give you an insight as to how they behave. Now, my first point here is, you look at the history. Whenever a Pakistani military leader has failed, he has got promoted. Now, take for example, there was a coup, Field Marshal Ayub Khan. Then you look at this Pervez Musharraf, he becomes the head of the state. And now this person, on 12th, we had that heinous crime. 22nd, we had that heinous crime. Prior to that, on 17th, he had given a hate speech about India to the diaspora of Pakistan and telling them that the two-nation theory holds good. And he had also amplified to say that if we are going to adopt or adapt to the Western civilization, then why the hell did we create a Pakistan? You go into the mind of this man and you'll realize what I'm trying to tell you. Now, this was on 17th, on 22nd this happened, 26th, this man goes to Kakul and he's telling the young minds there that this two-nation theory and how India needs to be tackled. There is no thought, there is no compassion, there is no sense of emotion to say that civilians, tourists have been killed on the other side of the line of control. Then after this kind of a military disgrace or a failure that he goes through, I am sure he goes and tells the stooges that are there in the political hierarchy that better promote me so that the failure can be turned into a victory. And the only thing that combines the population of Pakistan is Hate India campaign. Now all that together, if let us say, I am saying hypothetically, if he had not done this, history would have remembered him as a failure. So he has diverted the attention very carefully and taken it as a victory. And this is the psychology of military incompetence of Pakistan leaders. When you join the dots, you realize that how big a failure could have been inscribed in their history. And he's turned it by just getting himself the field marshal's post, the coveted post. And he hasn't quit from the chief of army staff post, which Ayub Khan had done earlier. So please join all the dots in the cognitive domain and you'll understand why. It's not what, it is why. You have to understand why it is being done like this.
So I go back to the issue when we were hitting Pakistan. When we hit them, we first hit them on the 6th, 7th morning, we hit them on 8th, and then we hit them on 9th, late night, 10th, early morning. In that period, they had the option of not hitting back, but they continued their drone strikes, and they had a few unsuccessful attempts at sending PL-15 missiles and trying to target our air bases in different areas. When you said to Shravan that we didn't target the nuclear bases, but they got hit. How do we conclude, sir, that they got hit? Because what are the points of information we have which lead us to the conclusion that they possibly got hit?
You know, Arnab, the first part you covered when you introduced the topic, when you said what was happening there, the kind of rectification measures that were done. So you join the dots, you know, you will come to the conclusion yourself. You join the dots that somebody rings up our DGMO, and our DGMOs are officers of the highest caliber and character. And he tells him that, look, we've got to stop. For the previous 2 days, where was the Chief of Army Staff of Pakistan? Was he traceable? It is very natural to assume that he was in his command post because we had been targeting so accurately. So the point is, you have to keep joining the dots, analyze and come to an assessment. And thereafter, when information started trickling in, leading to a thinking that something drastic has happened, there could have been something which triggered the seismic tremors. Seismic tremors only in that area? Why not elsewhere? Why only after that hit? You know, we have to keep asking ourselves questions and we have to come to deductions. When all this news that came up about a plane coming from Egypt and the kind of possibility that something has gone wrong there, that was in the fog of war. In the fog of war, nobody is able to say anything. It is only after you sit down, you join the dots and you realize what is the psyche of the person, whether to admit failure? No. Pakistani general will never accept a failure. You remember Niazi just 1 day before surrender, what bravado he was displaying? So whenever you are looking at your adversary, you have to look at the entire background that you have. We talk about a background intelligence, legacy data, and the current part. And thereafter you do a very careful analysis and assessment.
Now the Noor Khan Air Base near Chaklala, in Chaklala near Rawalpindi, is critical to the airlift operations, strategic airlift operations, and it is near the headquarters of the Pakistan Strategic Plans Division, which oversees the country's nuclear arsenal. So when we targeted this strike, when we targeted this area very specifically down to a meter, so obviously we knew, did we not know that this is very important from the nuclear point of view? We would have had that information with us.
When we choose targets, I must compliment the Chief of Air Staff and his staff, the Director General of Air Operations. It's well. So if
obviously it is not what we had originally intended to hit something and hit it hard. And that is the thing I would say. I would give full marks to our officers that they planned everything well. And if what Pakistan may not have declared their location, but we possibly thought it to be a conventional target, and it went into their nuclear arsenal, or it possibly damaged something, may not have hit the stockpile. But obviously our targets, when we chose, we did not choose a nuclear target.
We did not choose a nuclear target.
But we knew there was a nuclear facility there or a nuclear control center there.
A nuclear control center is different from a stockpile, you know. A nuclear control center is where all the mechanism is there, the communications are there, the shelter is there, all that is a part of the command and control center. And even the command and control center is extremely important because the communications at any stage should not get damaged. So, the command control center is equally important. It's a vital object.
So we by hitting Chaklala, we decapitated their nuclear command or made it dysfunctional for a while?
Whether we made it dysfunctional or not would be based on the response that we got from them that they wanted a ceasefire.
So the fact that they wanted a ceasefire indicates that their nuclear command center was hit and they had lost control.
That's exactly what I am implying, Arnab, that when we have to read everything and their actions or reactions, it leads you to a conclusion. That's what exactly I have been telling.
But Kirana Hills was where they kept their nuclear arsenal and that was also hit. That is where it was believed to be a storage depot.
Again, the point here is every year there is a disclosure to the International Atomic Energy Agency as to where these stockpiles are, what is their security, there is a proper audit that is done. So that part, okay, that is there, but Kirana Hills is okay, but exactly to the meter, we did not definitely aim at that.
So we didn't aim at a nuclear stockpile, but we could have hit it.
That's possible. That's highly possible.
That's highly possible. So we knew that because there was talk of an orange cloud, boron being sent, a sense of, there was loss of information for a while, and then the desperate calls for a ceasefire. So if I connect the dots here, General Khandare, we hit Kirana Hills. Okay, technically we did not target their nuclear base, but their nuclear storage, their nuclear command could have been hit. And then you say they became nervous after that.
And that nervousness, how it gets translated thereafter, and in the beginning itself I told you what is the kind of actions that their leadership took. That was a very quick cover-up, I must say. That was a very quick cover-up. Within days, because Pakistan will fall apart if Pakistan army is not supported by the people. And the people had started rebelling against the army. You just take your mind back to the last 2 years, or since the time Imran Khan is in jail. And this was the time when the top leadership there realized that if this military failure gets to the people, then obviously there is no survival for the military or whatever is of the political hierarchy which is in power today. The entire thing would have collapsed because of the wrath of the people. And they did a quick cover-up and they did a quick demonstration of a victory which was based on total falsehood.
Now let's go back.
And that's exactly when you take yourself ahead. You realize what kind of a cover-up and what kind of a brain they have.
I want to take you back because I am very interested in the nuclear issue. Following these strikes and around the time of these dates were the time when Shahbaz Sharif called an emergency meeting of the National Command Authority, which is the supreme decision-making body for nuclear weapons. They never accepted this meeting happen. But now I'm connecting the dots where you're saying we didn't hit the nuclear sites. We didn't target them, but they could have got hit. We didn't target them, but they could have got hit. And then there was this sense of panic in Islamabad, and America got in quite actively. Possibly Pakistan called America and said, our nuclear storage has been compromised. We've lost temporarily control of our nuclear command. You must do something. Was that the situation which emerged on the 10th?
The panic in the leadership, as you explain, Arnab, what is the leadership that we are looking at? There is a perpetual panic always in their political leadership, so leave that aside. But if there is a panic in the military leadership, that is something very serious, and that's exactly what happened.
So they panicked because it was obviously related to a possible nuclear hit. I personally think General Khandare, and now I will welcome General G.D. Bakshi into this conversation, people who you know, and Lieutenant General Raj Shukla as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an incredibly important conversation, General Bakshi and General Shukla, because General Khandare has been in the MOD when it happened. He was an advisor to Raksha Mantri till a few days back, so he was in the inner circle. I first want General Bakshi and General Bakshi, your take on how you're reading the information. Obviously, I understand. I completely, viewers also understand this. There are things that General Khandare cannot say because he was in an operating role during Operation Sindoor. But he's indicating pretty much on the lines that you said, General Bakshi, isn't he? What he's sharing with us tonight. And it will make headlines because we are saying we possibly hit their nuclear weapons, nuclear arsenal, or where they were stored or where they were controlled from. And it's a very big move. It's a very decisive move from India's perspective, historically.
Arnab, you may recall that it was on your channel that I had first said that sources, open sources intelligence clearly indicates the probability that nuclear storage sites for the storage of warheads have been hit, not just in the Kirana Hills near Sargodha, but also in the Chagai Hills near Jacobabad. Jacobabad is the base where the F-16 fighters are, many of which have been modified for toss bombing, right? And again, you have the missile regiment, which is tactical ballistic missile regiment. Their warheads are stored in the Kirana Hills, right? And at the Noor Khan Air Base itself is the location of their nuclear command post, the so-called National Command Authority, right? Now, whether we hit it by design and accident, I'm not sure, but the fact of the matter is that all these three were hit. There is the chain of corroborative evidence. You know, the chain of corroborative evidence is that on the very morning of the 10th, the US Nuclear Energy Authority, they have their nuclear warning aircraft, the Beechcraft B350.
Yeah.
We even have the number that was assigned to it for the flight path, etc.
Correct.
It flew over the Chagai Hills, it flew over the Kirana Hills, it landed at Noor Khan.
Yes, sir.
Immediately thereafter, we get the next news that the IL-76 from Egypt, carrying the boron-10 isotope. Don't forget that the Nile Delta is full of the boron-10 isotope is available there. That landed, followed a zigzag path over these kind of sites and was there for the whole day, right? So, if you put this circumstantial evidence together, and let me go a little back, 10th morning.
Yes, sir.
10th morning, we get the news that a Shaheen-2 missile with a 750 kg warhead has been fired. It is heading in the direction of Delhi, right? Now, 750 kg means it could be a nuclear warhead, it could be a conventional warhead. So, I can just presume what went on in the operations control room when they found this missile heading. We couldn't wait to find out whether it was a conventional tipped missile or it was a nuclear tipped missile.
Correct.
Right? It would have been too late to find out when it exploded.
Right,
so
right.
Quite obviously, the first decision was to get it down any which way possible. I am given to understand that 2 S-400s were fired, and they are the ones that have a kinetic hit. We saw over Chandigarh in that area not really Chandigarh, but after that a meteorite shower captured by a number of motorists. That happens when there is a kinetic hit on a warhead. In all probability, it was a conventional warhead because I don't think Pakistan would have dared. But could our decision makers have taken that risk? Because there was the Fateh 2 missile also heading. And we are told this one was heading for Amritsar. Probably the Golden Temple.
Yeah.
So I don't think any prudent leadership in India would have waited for that to happen. It may have been possible that decisions may have been taken that night. We will never know. But decisions were taken then to tackle the command.
We would not know officially, but
the command and control nerve center for nuclear.
We would never know officially.
Officially, no. But Tom Cooper.
But this is the closest we can get to it. Even more than Tom Cooper.
Has corroborated.
Even more than Tom Cooper, General Bakshi, General Khandare was in the Ministry of Defence as advisor, principal advisor in the Ministry of Defence when this happened. So this is the closest that we can get to a confirmation that we possibly hit the nuclear sites. Now, it is difficult for me to do this, General Khandare, but I'm going to ask General Raj Shukla to analyze what you have said there while you are on. But this is getting very interesting. General Raj Shukla, the first question which comes is, obviously we hit Pakistan's nuclear facilities because that explains how Pakistan behaved as it did. There was a scare of panic, there were urgency of phone calls to Washington, and a sudden halt to the escalation.